Chapter 11 discusses resource markets. Derived demand is. The demand for a resource is derived from the demand for the product the resource produces. The market supply of a resource sums all the individual supply curves for the resource. Two tables show temporary differences in resource prices. Economic rent is the portion of a resource's total earnings above its opportunity cost, earnings above the amount necessary to keep the resources in its present use. Profit maximizing rules for utilizing resources. The profit maximizing quantity of the resource occurs where the marginal resource cost equals marginal revenue product. Marginal revenue product is the change in total revenue when an additional unit of a resource is hired, other things constant. Fill in the table for marginal revenue product when a firm sells in a competitive market. Marginal revenue product when a firm sells in a competitive market, Cont D. Resource price taker. A firm that faces a constant market price for a resource, the firm can buy any amount of the resource without affecting the resource price. The graph shows resource demand of a competitive firm hiring as a price taker. Example of marginal revenue product when a firm sells as a price searcher. Marginal revenue product when a firm sells as a price searcher, Cont D. Marginal resource cost. The change in total cost when an additional unit of a resource is hired, other things constant. Shifts in the demand for resources. Other inputs employed. Substitute/complements. Changes in technology. Changes in the demand for the final product. Price elasticity of resource demand. Demand for the final product. The more elastic the demand for the final product, the more elastic the demand for the resources used. The resource's share of production cost. The greater the resource's share of the total production cost, the more elastic the demand for that resource. Ease of substitution. The more easily one resource substitutes for another, the more elastic the demand for substitute resources.
Am I going to eat now?
Time. The longer the time period, the greater the elasticity. Graph and table of resource price searcher case.